Hi guys, thanks for joining me on this video. In this one I basically am stripping down a Worcester 27i system boiler because the negative fan pressure was so low that my CO on low fire was above 200 parts per million and it should be less than 50 parts per million. So therefore I carried out a strip service on this boiler. So right now I'm just showing you how I carried out a negative fan pressure by connecting my FGA to the test point on the fan. Put the boiler into high fire and you can see my negative fan pressure is less than -2 millibars and it should be minimum -3.2 on this particular model of boiler. I'll just isolate the power again, taking the fuse out. Now to start stripping the boiler apart. So first we take out this air intake pipe and I'm just checking to make sure that the power is all dead. Pulled off the fan connector and now just removing the gas pipe and the ignition transformer. Removing the flue collector, taking off the flue stat. That one I believe is the overheat stat. And now that's come out. Then using a 10mm ratchet, I undo the bolts holding the burner in place. Remove the fan. It's a bit tight, but it all comes out. It's not a bad boiler to work on. People make it out that it's really tight and really awkward, but the reason I made this video was just to show you how actually easy it is to strip this boiler apart. Burner's out. I'm just checking the one-way valve on the fan connection to make sure that's all loosely moving. I wrote on the burner itself, the front, to make sure I put it back in the right way. Here you can see the inside of the heat exchanger. It looks pretty dirty. And I'm just checking the burner to make sure it's not blocked. I did blow some air over it using my compressor. And now using the cleaning blade, I'm just cleaning the inside of the heat exchanger. This whole process took probably about 10 minutes. And then now I'm washing it all out with my Karcher pressure washer. And there you go, that's your heat exchanger cleaned. Looking a lot better. Put the burner back in the same way you found it. Make sure you replace any seals, especially that burner one. I've just replaced that. And putting the burner back together. The back two nuts can actually stay in place. They are not going to drop out, but the front two bolts will fall. So make sure you hold on to them. However, the new burner seal comes with new bolts and nuts for the two front ones. You tighten the bolts back just enough so you can slide the locking pins back in place. Fan goes back in. 2 screws hold the fan. Gas connection done. There's a little washer in there, make sure you don't forget to put that back in. And there you go, it's hand tightened. Ignition transformer clip back in place. Connect all the electrics back up. Fan connection back on. Don't forget the earth of the fan. And that's the air intake pipe put back in. And the flue collector pushed back in, and then the 2 screws to just hold it in place. I turned the power back on and then I realized that I hadn't washed the condense trap out, so I turned it back off, removed the condense trap, washed the condense trap out. Now put the power back on. And now to carry out my negative fan pressure test again. There I just wrote what I've done on the boiler. Boiler's in max fire, and now you can see that the fan pressure is now minus 3.26. So that is a huge increase than before. And my combustion now was so much better, and as it should be. Checking my gas inlet working pressure now to make sure that's all good, which it was. I believe it was 18.5 millibar. And now LDF on the test point, don't forget that. And now put the boiler back together again. Well, put the case back on. And now I thought, oh yes, let's check the expansion vessel to make sure that's all good as well. So I drained the water out of the boiler. And I went to recharge the expansion vessel using my Milwaukee air compressor. And noticed, as you'll see, that it's pumping, but the bucket is just gurgling with air no matter what I did, and that is because the expansion vessel itself is ruptured. So that's just the air coming from the compressor back through the hose. So I told the customer that I'm going to have to come back with a new expansion vessel. So I'll return again and take this boiler off the wall and replace the expansion vessel behind it. And here I'm cleaning the filter now. And you'll see the water quality in just a second. Look at that. That is like chunks of metal. And the system has underfloor heating as well. So yeah, this system needs to be flushed. But yep, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next video.